Hello YouTube, I'm Big Al 1982. This is the Movie Reviewers 100, the collaboration channel here on YouTube that brings you films each week. Also, link below to our Facebook like page where we do add other many things apart from our reviews from the Movie Reviewers 100. So this week is Meryl Streep week, or Meryl Streep even, I can't pronounce her name. And I must admit that I don't particularly watch a lot of her films. This week's going to be interesting for me personally because I get to watch the other guys' reviews and hopefully a few films that I've never seen before and see what they're all about. The performances I can actually remember from her, or a little bit remember from The Deer Hunter, which I watched about 10 years ago, and I remember her performance in there was okay, and the film was I quite enjoyed the film at the time. A film that I need to watch, I haven't watched for many years. And another film that she was in, I think it's Death Becomes Her, I think that's what it was called, with Bruce Willis and Goldie Hawn, and I remember that being quite funny. Basically it started, I think they drank a potion or they were under a spell so they couldn't age or they couldn't die, and basically Bruce Willis was a plastic surgeon and kept them alive and basically done all the touching up on them, and they were sort of decayed through the years, and then other things happen to Bruce Willis's character. And it's funny because they can't die, there's some comical moments where I think Meryl Streep actually falls down the stairs and I think her head turns around. I remember the poster being like that, where her head's facing us but he's on her back. I remember that performance being quite funny as well. A film I watched recently, which I didn't particularly enjoy, but I thought I'd talk about it. I know it's got sort of mixed reviews, and I know some people here on YouTube quite like this film, but for me personally, I thought it was boring. I just couldn't really get on with it, and that is Fantastic Mr. Fox. Set from the book of Roald Dahl. I really loved Roald Dahl as a kid, and I was really looking forward to checking this one out finally after missing it in the cinema. It was from Wes Anderson, who's a bit of a hit-miss director for me as well. I should have gathered it from there really. I did quite like the stop-motion animation in this film. I thought it was pretty good how it was like that, I must admit. And the story was okay, similar to the book. But for me, George Clooney as Mr. Fox was just really boring for me. How he talked through the film, it was basically him reading the book without any emotion. That's what I felt. At least when you get like behind me now, Toy Story, you got Tim Allen and you got Tom Hanks, and you could tell that they're acting it out in that booth. They're speaking. They can tell they're acting it out. It's completely different from the performance I got from George Clooney. As it's Meryl Streep week, she plays his wife, which is Mrs. Fox, and it was an okay performance, I believe. I mean, in the story and that. But I'd say for me it was quite boring. It wasn't memorable, and Meryl Streep's voice in this, I didn't even realise it was her voice, to be honest. Only by watching IMDb's list for her, I actually realised she was in this film. But it was a bit disappointing for me. It was just lacking something, and I don't know if it was the direction from Wes Anderson or the boring tones of George Clooney, who I particularly like in films. I like him in a lot of films, but for me, overall, I didn't really enjoy it. If you're not sure what the story is, basically it's centered around Mr. Fox, the fabulous Mr. Fox, who steals chickens from the farmer, and it's about the three farmers come together to try and hunt him down, to try and kill all the animals, and basically they go into hiding and they go underground to try and escape from the farmers. That's the sort of the synopsis of the film really. They're on the run trying to survive. But yeah, I mean, it's one of them films I particularly don't. I thought it was boring, but other people like me, even I can speak properly. Other people did like it, so I mean, give it a watch and see what you think about it. But for me, it just wasn't one of them films for me. Fantastic Mr. Fox. Even my boy was watching it, wasn't quite interested in it as well, and I thought with the colours and the animation and that he might be more into it, but. Yeah, maybe another day I'll give it a watch and maybe change my opinions of it, but the one watch I did watch of it, I found it just a little bit boring for my opinion. So anyway, Meryl Streep week, wasn't really much of a Meryl Streep review, but as I said, I haven't watched many films of her in, so I'm looking forward to this week to check out everyone else's reviews, so why don't you do that as well and check out everyone else's reviews this week here on the Movie Reviewers 100. Hope you all have a great weekend. Thanks for watching this type of video, wherever it was, and all the best to you. Good luck and goodbye.